If your makeup looks done but never chic, it's not your products. It's literally where you're placing your products that destroys looks. So we're just gonna go over some of the most common mistakes I see. Adam! Me and my dog was just crying because someone left because he's a crybaby. But yeah, some of the biggest mistakes I see are really easy fixes, and we're going to fix them. We're gonna get you right, babe. So let's start with number one and get you together immediately, and I'm gonna show you everything to do correctly on this side of my face and everything that's done incorrectly on this side of my face. But it's not technically incorrect, like nothing here is technically incorrect, but it just doesn't ring chic. It looks very off-putting in some ways, but this is how a lot of people do their makeup, and just because it looks complete and it looks done, they think like they've done the work, like they've done the work, when they can feel deep down something's off. So yeah, let's just get into it. The most common problem I find with brows, people tend to give themselves more brows than they need to give, and I love me a good brow, a good nice beautiful brow, but a lot of times people will put too much product in the brows in general, and then the brow will look very heavy and kind of daunting in the face, like just very, if you can see on this side, it's just all around just very dark, very strong. You can't really see the hair placement. And tip, if you want anything to look chic, make it look as natural and true to its original being as possible, because that just rings naturalness, which rings familiarity, which rings chic. So that's a little gem to put in your pocket. So yeah, some of the most common mistakes is overfilling the front of your eyebrows, so this area, and then also having the same density of the eyebrows from start to finish will really read done. Your eyebrows will look done. Like this looks done, but it doesn't read chic. It doesn't read refined. As you can see, as I'm doing with this eyebrow, I filled it in lightly. The curve is perfect. The hairs you can see individually. And yes, I am doing my concealer now, and it's closer to my natural skin tone because all of this reads as refined. You can see I'm letting the hairs be sparse up front as a natural eyebrow would be, and then I gave a bit more definition to the tail for sharp definedness, for elegance and neatness. I know just a simple way of doing my eyebrows just like that really can show you a real nice difference in how the eyebrow reads even on camera. You should only define where structure is needed in the eyebrows. In here I have like gappiness in my eyebrows, so I put a little bit of liner in there and, you know, brushed it out, and it gave it a full finish effect. Stunning. Chic makeup isn't about adding, it's about knowing when to pull back, knowing when to restrain, and knowing where to stop. Another common problem I see is with concealer, and I don't know what it is, but a lot of people love to over conceal, and instead of using concealer as a structured mechanism, they use it as a covering. And those are all great ways of using concealer to conceal, but also concealer can be used to shape and define the face beautifully. What I see a lot is people will add a lot of concealer under the eyes and have horrible placement, and then they'll blend it out, and then the under eye area will pull very flat, and instead of getting the desired lift effect or sculpting effect, people just end up with a very flat under eye that looks unbreathed. Like it just looks like it can't breathe, and I just can't take it. It doesn't give natural, it doesn't give refined or chic or structure. When it doesn't really add structure. It really takes away from the natural contrast of the face and the balance of the face. What I like to do, as you see here, is highlight the inner eye and the outer. These is where you want to pull light to lift and then to brighten. Not putting too much is going to be your friend, because we really just want this to enhance your structure of your face. Brighten up and then enhance. And don't ever, like literally don't ever be afraid to let your skin show through your makeup. That is the beauty and the nuance of chic makeup. It's like, yes, we're making up the face, but we're allowing your skin and your face to be what it is, who you are, but just enhancing and improving and making you just shine through the makeup, not cover up things to change anything. As you can see on this side, it's not as pulled. My concealer under my eye is very just there. It's not doing much any lifting. It's kind of just there and very flat. And this is one of the biggest offenders of all that will really just, even if you did all these steps right, this step would just kapooey, throw it out the window, destroy the whole face, just because it does so much, and that is blush. What I see is sometimes people don't understand their face shape and structure, so they place their blushes in places where it just doesn't make sense for the blush to be, changing the dynamic and the structure of your natural face. After you've done all the beautiful work, highlight correctly, sculpt, contour, blush is that one thing that will just destroy the entire look. What I see very often is people don't really understand their face shape and they're trend chasing. And even though trends are cool, I guess, to some, they do nothing for your personal look and style. Like, they do nothing for your actual face structure. So on this side, my blush is way too low, and it's actually taking up the majority of this part of my face, pulling my face down and kind of pulling it outward this way instead of pulling it up and going into my natural face structure. So it actually just rings very full and unbalanced on this side where it shouldn't be, and it just looks unsettled, unelegant. It just looks almost clown-esque on this side. When you place the blush in this wrong placement, instead of creating a lift and a beautiful finish, it creates heaviness in the face, heaviness in the cheek area that would otherwise do you a lot of justice. Even if you got every step right, it will literally, the blush will really just destroy it all. So this is why it's my #1 offender when it comes to 3 makeup places that could really just ruin a look. You start off strong, very chic, very sculpted. You put that blush in, it's done after. So the ways you fix this is you put it up higher and you put it back, because it gives an automatic pulled effect. And honestly, I recommend this for people with more oval faces, heart-shaped faces, things like that, maybe even diamond faced, just because we already have that cheek and bone structure that just really complements a higher and pulled back placement. And just even if you notice you're aging a bit and you have like laxness in the face, put that blush just a bit higher. And then you need to diffuse those edges. You see how my blush is very blotchy on this side? Keep all your pigment in the center and move it outward to diffuse it and make it have a beautiful kind of gradient. And then you want to, I always personally, I keep it at my eye and then work outward and up. That's me personally. And you can already, like literally you can already see the intentionalness in my face. You can see the sculptedness in my face, and it just rings more elegant and beautiful. You see how My eyes are the star of the show. My lips are muted. My cheeks are pulling everything towards the eyes, giving me a lifted, beautiful effect. Very chic. Looks like these read super chic, super intentional, and very refined. I did a little bit of a glam kind of look today just to show you, like, glam looks can be chic, they can be refined, they can hold some restraint and be very intentional. So I purposely did it up a little bit just to show you that to get a certain type of elevated look, you don't have to lean into that flat drag-esque, even though we love a drag, it has its place, to look very beautiful, very refined. Chic makeup isn't about adding, it's knowing where to stop. Until next time, my love. Bye.